Hello everyone. What you're looking at is a lesson plan for Google My Maps. So if you decide to follow this lesson plan, you have the standards, the objectives for the students, materials, and the rest. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So in your drive, if you would click on New, hover over More, then arrow over to Google My Maps, click on that. Once it populates, you're going to give it a title. And in this case, we're going to call this map Around Town. Click Save. The next thing we will need to do is identify the area of Hesperia, California, in the United States, and a pin will drop there, but we're not going to add this particular pin to the map. But students will need to identify 4 local areas, one of them being City Hall in Hesperia, so we're going to click on that, and we're going to add this pin to the map, so we'll click on Add to Map. The next area that they're going to identify is their school district, and that would be Hesperia Unified, and we're going to add that pin to the map. The third area that they will need to identify is the library, and that would be on 7th. We're going to add that pin to the map. And the fourth area would be their school, so let's just go ahead and say Joshua Circle Elementary. Add that pin to the map. Now I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because this is going to help us with our next tool. On the toolbar here, if you hover over this area here, you'll see Draw a Line. We will be showing the distance from Joshua Circle to City Hall, to the library, to Hesperia Unified School District, and back to Joshua Circle. So let's get started. So we're going to click on Draw a Line, and then we're going to click on Add Line. You will need to click once, and then every time you click, you are leaving what I call points. And we're going to go down 7th Street, and it's okay to leave several points. Click here, and then in order to stop the line, you're going to double click once you get to that area. So now we're going to title this as To City Hall. We want to save it so that we can get the distance, and this is 0.797. Click on your line pin, and we're going to say 0.797, and we want miles to show. Click Save. The next distance that we're going to show will be from City Hall to the library. So get our line tool, and we're going to click, double click to break the distance. And we're going to say this will be to library. And we want to say we need to get the distance, which is 252 feet. And you're going to type in 252 feet in the description box and click Save. The next distance we want to get will be from the library to the district office. Remember, clicking helps us to leave those points, go across the parking lot, double click, and this will be, we'll just say to DO. Click Save so we can get the distance. The next distance we will show will be from the DO and back to Joshua Circle. We're going to take the scenic route here and click, 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 double click, and this will be to JC. And we want to save so we can get the distance, which is 1.17 miles, and that will be 1.17 miles. And click Save. The other tool that I want to show you would be, let's just close this out. In order to embold these lines, you want to hover over those areas and you'll see the paint bucket. So what we're going to have is from Joshua Circle to City Hall. Let's make that green. And we're going to put a little weight on that line with our slider here. The next line distances we're going to create will be from City Hall to the library. Hover over that area. And then we're going to make that area, let's say, a nice orange, and give that line a little weight. And then the next area will be from the library to the DO. We'll just make that a nice blue, give that line a little weight. See how that's working there? So you can see from JC, City Hall to the library, library to the DO. And we're going to do this line here all the way back to JC. And let's make that, how about a nice lavender? Give that line a little weight there. Perfect. Now we want to show the distance along these points. So you want to click on individual styles. Right now there's no labels identified here, but the labels that I want to show would be description. And that would be those miles that we put, distance that we put inside of this description box. And it's really that simple. The extended piece of this lesson would be having your students to point out another spot that would be important to them. But they can actually click on this area here, and then they can identify when they edit in this box here, why is the school a good resource for them. They can click on City Hall, click on the edit pin, and in the description box say why they think this is a good resource for them. What resources does this particular organization have to offer? And then they can add an image, either the URL, it could be on their hard drive. They can also add a video. So you have some options there, and it's that simple.